Manchester United are very, very close to agreeing a deal to sign Matheus Cunha. Of course, he's got this release clause in his contract at Wolves, which is just under £65 million. Now, I don't want to contradict what journalists in Brazil are reporting, but the information we have at the moment is that the deal is not close to being done. What I can tell you, of course, is that Manchester United are very interested in signing the player. I think they're in a very, very good position to sign the player because I believe that they're willing to trigger that release clause. They may pay that release clause in installments, but the most important thing is, I think if they agree to pay the release clause, then the player himself would welcome moving to Manchester United. I was told earlier this week that he loves Manchester United. He still regards them as being one of the biggest clubs in the world. So Cunha to United is a deal that I think is likely to happen, but maybe not as quickly as some reports in Brazil are suggesting. Although I'm sure those got in just in the last few minutes about his situation. Our understanding is that there are 5 Premier League clubs at the moment who want to sign Matheus Cunha. Of course, one of them is Manchester United. Now, this year, we know that clubs like Arsenal and Aston Villa have held exploratory talks about signing Cunha. We reported in January that Nottingham Forest were also interested in signing him. We're being told today that there's no way that Nottingham Forest are going to be spending £64 million on a player, even though it would be on a player as good as Cunha. £64 million, of course, is his release clause in his new contract. Interestingly, this evening, I'm just being told as well, surprise, surprise, clubs in Saudi Arabia are now also prepared to trigger Cunha's release clause. Saudi Pro League clubs, we've seen them in the past few windows make big moves in the transfer market. Saudi clubs are always being linked with older players who may be surplus to requirements at their existing clubs. But that's not the case anymore, because Saudi clubs are targeting the best players they can buy, and Matheus Cunha is certainly a player who's on their radar. I asked the question, would Matheus Cunha really want to move to Manchester United at the moment? Everybody knows United are not playing particularly well, or 14th, 15th, 16th in the Premier League table. I was told that the player sees United as one of the biggest clubs in the world. One source has even told us that Cunha loves Manchester United. And we're also being told, if somebody puts the money on the table, £64 million,